everyone, welcome to my channel World of AWS. I hope you all are doing good. So we are continuing with Terraform tutorial, and in this video we are going to discuss about referencing Terraform modules. Okay, so for some of the infrastructure resources you can directly use the module calling code and the entire infrastructure will be created for you. So you just have to add the block like this module and whatever resource your module is going to create, okay, and the source will be from where you are calling the module, okay, and the version of the module. Okay, so if you don't want to use the version, it will always fetch the latest version of the module. So that how we can refer, from where we can refer, so we are going to discuss in upcoming videos. So this video is just regarding that how we can refer any module and create any resources. Okay, avoiding confusion. Just by referencing any module, it not always the case that the infrastructure resource will be created for you directly. Okay, in some of the cases you can directly create the infrastructure, but in some of the cases you cannot directly create the infrastructure by calling module. Okay, some module require a specific input and values from the user side to be filled in before a resource gets created. Okay, so some of the module required user input before the infrastructure get created, right? So you can see the example here, AWS EKS. If you try to use the AWS EKS module directly and run Terraform apply, it will throw an error. Okay, so here we have the image that we are calling the EKS module here, and whenever we are running Terraform apply, we are getting error here like var.subnet id is empty list of a string. Okay, so this is the error we can expect if the module require any kind of input from user. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this out so that we can understand it. Okay, so let's go to the AWS first and let's search for AWS EC2 Terraform module. So this is the first that we are going to refer. So if you see here, the version is 5.8.0 is the latest version. Okay, and download this week, as you can see there is a large number downloads all over all the time, 23.6 million. That is large number. Okay, because this module is dynamic and this module is getting used by many of the organization as well as individuals. Okay, so if you see here the fork, so the fork is 1.9 and the star the people have given to this repository, okay, that is 782. so if you go to the issues, okay, then you can see the issues, how many issues has been raised for this specific module. So if you see, the 4 issues has been already in open state and 209 issues has been already resolved by the contributors. Okay, so let's go ahead and how we can call this module. We can just add this block in our Terraform configuration and we can call this module. Okay, let's open the terminal here. So let's wait. Yeah, we can run now Terraform init. So backend is getting initialized and it's fetching and downloading the module that we have referred here from the Terraform, right? Terraform registry. As we can see here, we are in the Terraform registry, right? So it's getting downloaded, the module is getting downloaded here. So let's wait for a few more seconds. So it's installing the HashiCorp provider version 5.99.1. okay, so let's wait for few more seconds, then we are going to apply this configuration and we'll see how many EC2 instance is getting created or not. Okay, so meanwhile let me show you that I don't have any EC2 instance running in my account. Okay, so let's refresh this page and we are in the US East 1. okay, US East 1. So we don't have any EC2 instance running in this AWS account. So let's go back to the VS Code, and our backend is getting initialized already, or got initialized already. Okay, so let's run Terraform plan to see the what resources our Terraform configuration is going to create. Okay, so let's wait for few more seconds so that it will generate the plan. Okay, so it's taking bit more time. Yeah, so if we want to remove this version here, the version parameter, that is also fine if you want to always prefer the latest version of this module. Okay, but in some of the cases version is required, because whenever you are referring to any module, okay, and you want to be be on the specific version for all the time, then you have to mention the version here, version parameter here. Okay, so we got the plan. So plan 1 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy, right? We can see it here. So let's run Terraform apply now. Okay, so as you can see here, so it will create the EC2 now. Okay, so as you can see, module EC2 AWS instance, this getting created, right? So it's still creating the EC2 instance. So let's go to the AWS console and refresh this, that we got any EC2 here till now or not. As you can see, we got the EC2 instance here. Okay, and it's in running state and status check is getting initialized. Okay, so if we go back to the VS Code, that apply has been already completed and one resource added, right? So we are not getting in any error whenever we are calling this module, right? We are able to directly create the infrastructure. So let me delete it. Terraform destroy -auto -approve. Okay, so let me destroy it first. And now let's try to use AWS EKS module. Okay, Terraform AWS EKS module. Okay, so let's open this one. As you can see, download over all the time. Okay, 98.5 million. So you can understand like how many organization and how many individuals are downloading this module. Okay, so let's open the source code repository here, and if we see, there is 4.2k forks. Okay, and star 4.7, right? So go here, go back here, and this is how we can refer this module. Latest version is 20.36.0, right? So let's go back, and destroy is already completed. So we just want here this module, okay, and let's save this. Let's save, let's run Terraform init, okay. So downloading registry Terraform module, right? The module is getting downloaded from the Terraform registry, okay. So as you can see, downloading registry, so it's downloading the configuration, whatever configuration we have defined here in the this for Terraform for EKS creation, okay. As you can see, it's already initialized. So let's run Terraform plan to see what resources our Terraform configuration this module is going to create, okay. So we'll get error, so that's fine, that's completely fine, okay, because we expect that. So as you can see here, Terraform module EKS this, okay, subnet ID call ilset list var.control plane, okay, and while var.control_plane subnet ID is empty, list of a string, var subnet ID is empty, list of a string, right? Call to the function, and this function is getting called, failed, none null arguments, okay. So it expecting the user input from you, that's why it's not able to create the EKS cluster for you. If you go here in the module, go to the module, okay, and if you go to the EKS, if you go to the main.tf line number 68, let's explore that. Line number 68, subnet ID, the function is here, right, and var.control plane subnet. So we are not providing the subnet ID here, that's why this module is not able to create the EKS cluster successfully, okay. So it required input from user, okay. So if we explore here in the module documentation, okay, so let's go down, there is huge documentation, okay. So how we can list that, okay, subnet, okay. So as you can see a VPC ID, okay, and we have passed the subnet ID like this, okay, and in this module we are not passing the subnet ID, okay. So we need to pass the subnet ID where we want to provision this EKS cluster, okay, so that this module will work perfectly, okay. So let me go to the subnet_id, okay. As you can see here, the option is available, subnet ID we have like this, right, and subnet ID here, subnet, a list of subnet ID where the EKS cluster control plane ENI provision used for expanding the pool of subnet used by nodes and nodes group without replacing the EKS control plane, okay. So you need to define the subnet ID in order to provision the EKS cluster using this module, okay. So as we have already discussed some of the module require a specific input and values from the user side to be filled in before a resource get created. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any query, any confusion regarding this video, then do let me know in the comment section. And if you are new to my channel, then do check out my other playlist as well, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.